If you've been scrolling through endless projector options, comparing brightness, throw distance, price, and still feel stuck, this review is going to clear that up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last few weeks setting up a couple of home theater rigs, testing the same room in daylight and total blackout, and talking to friends who just got their first big screen setup, so I can tell you where this XGIMI Aura series really shines and where it might leave you reaching for the remote. First off, the biggest question most people ask when they look at a laser projector like the Aura is, will it actually replace my TV? The answer isn't a simple yes or no, it depends on how you use your screen. If you're used to binge-watching Netflix on a 55-inch 4K TV in a bright living room, you'll notice the Aura's 2300 lumens right away, but you'll also feel the need to control ambient light. In a dedicated home theater room with blackout curtains, the 1:0:0:0:0:0:1 dynamic contrast ratio brings out deep blacks that a conventional LCD TV can't match, especially when you throw a 100-inch image with a 0.177:1 throw ratio. That means the projector can sit just a foot or two from the wall and still fill a large screen, which is a game changer for apartments or small spaces where you don't have the luxury of a long throw distance. One of the most practical strengths of the Aura is its built-in Dolby Vision and IMAX enhanced certification. In everyday terms, that means the projector can interpret HDR metadata more accurately, delivering richer colors and more detail in bright and dark areas alike. I tested a high dynamic range nature documentary, and the greens of the forest looked vibrant without looking oversaturated, while the shadows in a nighttime cityscape retained texture instead of collapsing into a uniform gray. For movie lovers who already have a Dolby Vision compatible streaming device, the Aura reads that signal and reproduces it as intended, which is a step up from many budget projectors that simply boost brightness without respecting the HDR intent. The Harman Kardon speakers built into the unit are another point that often gets a mixed reaction. For a projector, the integrated audio is surprisingly decent. You can hear dialogue clearly in a standard living room without adding a soundbar. However, the soundstage is still limited compared to a dedicated AV receiver and bookshelf speakers. If you plan to use the Aura as a primary home theater solution, budgeting for external audio will give you the cinematic immersion you expect. If you're more interested in a plug-and-play setup for occasional movie nights or gaming, the built-in speakers might be enough. Now let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. Laser light sources are praised for longevity, and XGIMI claims a long lifespan, which is true. There's no lamp replacement schedule to worry about for years. The downside is the heat management. The Aura runs a quiet fan, but in a small bedroom the airflow can be noticeable after an hour of continuous use. It's not a deal-breaker, but if you're extremely sensitive to background noise, you might want to position the projector near a vent or keep the doors slightly ajar. Another practical concern is the Android TV interface. It's smooth for most apps, but you'll find that some niche streaming services don't appear in the default app store, meaning you have to sideload them, a step that isn't intimidating but does add a small learning curve for non-tech-savvy users. Who should buy this XGIMI Aura? If you already own a decent 4K source like a Roku Ultra, Apple TV 4K, or a gaming console that supports Dolby Vision and you have a room where you can control lighting, the Aura offers a compelling blend of picture quality and convenience. It's especially attractive for gamers who want low input lag and a large, immersive field of view without the wobble of a traditional LCD projector. The 0.177:1 throw ratio lets you set up a 120-inch screen on a short wall, making it ideal for dorm rooms, apartments, or even a backyard movie night with a portable screen. The built-in Android TV also means you won't need a separate streaming box, which simplifies the whole experience. Who should skip it? If you're looking for a set-it-and-forget-it TV replacement for a bright, sunlit family room, you'll likely be disappointed. Even at 2300 lumens, daylight can wash out the image, and you'll need either a dedicated projector screen with high gain or very dark curtains to get the best results. Likewise, if your budget is tight and you're mainly after a TV-sized display for casual viewing, there are cheaper LED TV options that deliver comparable brightness without the need for a wall or screen. Finally, if you're an audiophile who insists on a full surround sound setup, treat the Aura's speakers as a stepping stone rather than the final solution. From a value perspective, the Aura's price sits above the entry-level laser projectors but below most high-end 4K cinema-grade models. What you get for that mid-range?